All right, y'all, we are talking bar blend because Katie and I are 1 week down of the program, and I know there's a lot of questions and a lot of skepticism. And so we wanted to get on and kind of share our experience with this program because it is so different. And we're just really excited to share with y'all. So I figured that Katie could get on here. She is one of my challengers. She's been in our groups for many years and kind of came back to it, has done other things in between. And so, do you want to share a little bit about your experience with Beachbody and our team?
Yeah, sure. So I started with Danielle's team back in, I want to say it was March of 2017. And I was with them. I was there for a while. I did Beachbody actively with the team. And then some things happened and I stepped away for a year or two,
Mm-hmm.
and then had recently came back about 3 months ago. And the reason that I drew back to the team was because of the accountability with Zoom and the morning group text thread, because that's what I was struggling the most with. And I'd seen Danielle really build up through Instagram, actually, and following her story still throughout the years, how much she really built up this team, and the accountability tribe that she built, I thought was pretty awesome. And I kind of reached out back to her and was like, will you take me back? And she did, and here we are. And I don't think as of now I've ever been so consistent with a workout routine, and it's something I thoroughly enjoy. And having all those screen faces on the screen in the morning all together really kind of is what I need, and I needed that accountability, and it's working really well. So I'm really glad that I'm back. I'm a huge fan of Beachbody, and so I'm glad to be here.
Yes, girl. Happy to have you back. And just to give a little background for me, I've been actively coaching. I was a challenger for about 3 weeks and then was like, oh, I guess I'll see what this coach thing is about. And then here we are building a team. So I don't know what happened, but it's been amazing. And I've been doing programs for 5.5 years now consistently. I used to teach group fitness, body pump every single morning at like 6 a.m. And about 2 years ago, I finally said, I want to work on myself truly. And it's these past 2 years, especially, have been so transformative in our tribe and our community. And so I'm really excited to have Katie here. So, you want to share what programs you've done, and maybe from the perspective of somebody that doesn't know anything about them, maybe like what types of programs you've done?
Sure. So the very first program that I started with Beachbody was actually PIO, which is the Pilates yoga based program. So there's no weights, no resistance band. It's all body weight, and low impact for the most part. And that's the program that what made me fall in love with Beachbody. I committed to doing PIO for 60 days, and I committed to doing the ultimate portion, the containers, the ultimate portion fix. Like, I use the containers. And I just really enjoyed that routine. I had amazing results. So then I just kept going with any of the new programs that came out. So I also have done um, Insanity. I've done Lift 4. I have done, I didn't do Transform 20, I'm trying to think. I've done Morning Meltdown, and now I'm getting into Bar Blend. And I've kind of dabbled in between here and there, not doing programs consistently, but using it as like a tool to just have workouts to do if I woke up one day and felt like doing a workout. But they're the main programs that I've done, and they're different because Lift 4 was more a lot of heavier weight with HIIT training. And then Morning Meltdown was kind of a combination of a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Weight training, cardio, um, more like fighting type, boxing, cardio in there too, core work. So a little bit of everything. But when I found out about Bar Blend, I was very excited. So that's what I'm doing now.
Yes. And I've done everything across the board. Pretty much every new program that comes out with our team, I commit to. So this particularly was way outside my comfort zone because I've been used to, similar to what Katie was saying, like the high intensity, the longer workouts. I actually just came off doing workouts with an MBA trainer, which is definitely the hardest program I've ever done in my life. But they were like 45 minutes to an hour a day. And so I wanted something in the new year that was way different, that was going to challenge me in different ways. And so let's talk about Barre Blend specifically. So this is a 60-day program. It is low impact, high intensity, but I say that in the sense of there's 3 modifiers for every move. So this program is really based in physical therapy. The creator of it actually started in the Virginia Ballet, and she is exposed to every single type of workout she's been certified in teaching group fitness. So it's kind of this fusion of a mix of the typical bar moves you might see in a class. I've taken 1 or 2 classes and they're always like, oh my gosh, like these little movements and you're so sore the next day. But it still has the cardio component, the core component, the like fluid movements. I danced and cheered growing up, but I never was able to like get past certain boundaries and blocks in my dancing and cheerleading career. And so at 30, I was like, I want to feel what it's like to be, strong and graceful, but also flexible and have the stamina to do those fluid movements that most of us kind of stop doing because we just think, oh, we got to run a lot of miles and lift heavy to get the results we want. So that's what I was excited about Barre Blend. What about you, Katie?
Um, Similar in that, I think I was excited because out of all the programs I've done, I had the best results with PIO, the Pilates yoga program. So I knew my body responded really well to almost body weight training, and more of that high rep, lower weight type training versus heavy weightlifting. My body I did well with those programs, but I saw the best results with PIO. So I was excited because, the workouts were 30 to 35 minutes. Something completely, I was out of my comfort zone too, because I am not coordinated and I'm not a dancer at all whatsoever. I have zero history of that. But I knew from not only the PIO yoga, the Pilates yoga type background, but also being a physical therapist, a lot of the moves in Barre are also very much geared towards a lot of the small muscle stabilizers that people tend to forget about. And they're the ones that are important when it comes to injury prevention and stabilizing and core and posture and all this. And what I enjoy about it is the instructor is very knowledgeable on all of this and explains that. And I think it's something that people are very set on heavyweight running this, which is, look, something different works for everybody. But personally speaking, as a therapist, people tend to forget about the small muscle groups, the stabilizers. They're the important ones that come into when they're talking about injury prevention. So I was kind of excited to have that part of it, but then also just really know that my goal for this was to really work on my tone. And I think I knew after PIO that this was going to hopefully do that for me.
It's awesome. What would you say is, do you sweat in these, I removed her since we're recording. Do you sweat in these workouts? Like, is it enough for you?
Oh my goodness, yes. So I was not expecting it to be the way it was at first. I've taken a Barre class here and there, but she really pushes you and she makes you dig deep. And my heart rate is up majority of that time too, because it's not only, you're not just working one body part. She has you in these different positions, working your legs while you're working the arms. And never had I thought 1 or 2 pound weights with my arms up the whole time would work that much, but after the first day of Barre, that night, I was very, very sore, and I sweat. Oh, I definitely break a sweat. It's awesome.
Let's just repeat that. 1 to 2 pound weights we are both using.
Yes. I haven't even progressed to 2 pounds. Actually, I'm still on 1 because I can't even hold my arms up for a lot. I have to take a rest. So I know I'm not ready to advance to 2 pound weights yet, because I also don't want to hurt myself because I don't want to compensate. But 1 pound's enough for me because what she has is, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Which is insane because like I'm the girl that I can lift 55 pounds doing sumo squats. So I'm like, how is this so difficult? But it is those small movements that, like you're saying, from a physical therapy background, are so important that we tend to forget. So talking about soreness, let's talk about what supplements you use with Barre Blend. Because I think that's always a question, like, do I need it? Is it worth it?
Yes. So I use two. So at a supplement, well, I guess I use three. So I drink Shakeology every day. Um, I just done that for the last 3 years, and I know how good it is for me, and I feel better when I drink it, and it just keeps things flowing.
Just
Like
keep it
it
going.
feels good. Like my belly, it feels good. I feel much better when I drink my Shakeology. I also use Energize, which has been a game changer for me because I never was a regular Energize user until the last 3 months. I always thought I would just use Energize. Like if I would go for a run, I would do Energize. Like I never thought I needed it for like a 30-minute workout. And then once I got started in the habit of drinking it before my workout, I realized how much harder I actually pushed myself in my workout and how much it did really help me. So now I drink it every morning. I drink my Energize before the workout. And then I will use the Recover after, which I mean, it helps with the muscle soreness. It helps with it. I'm still sore,
Mhm.
but it does help take the edge off, I think. Like, I think it'd be worse if I hadn't used it.
So
So
do
they're the three that I use. But for me, the biggest game changer actually has been the Energize because I never used that enough to think, oh, it would make a difference, but it really does.
Yeah, and if you don't know what those are, Energize we call on our team Glow Juice because it is an all natural pre-workout, which I never used supplements at all before I started coaching, and it's life changing. I actually use it I don't drink coffee at all, um, and it's pomegranate based, so it is truly all natural and the kick in the pants without like that tingly afterthought you get on a lot of other stuff. It's a little bit more processed. And then the Recover is a post workout supplement to help with muscle soreness. I use all of the above as well, like Katie said. I also use a nighttime recharge, which helps a lot with soreness overnight. And that's really helpful for me. So, highly recommend all of those because the small muscle movements are going to be hard. So, if we were talking to somebody that was maybe pregnant or postpartum, what would you tell them, modification wise? Like, is this a good program for them? Um, Maybe let's talk about that for a minute, and then we can talk to our fitness lovers who think this is not enough for them.
I think that this is definitely appropriate for them. Obviously, they have to talk to their doctor
Yep.
first, cleared for activity, make sure. I would even ask them, tell them the type of thing you're looking to do and see if, what their insight is on that. That I will say first and foremost. But if all is good to go there and you've been cleared and everything is good, the modifiers on this program, I think, do a really good job at just breaking it down, keeping it simple, but yet still because I modify a lot with the modifiers and still like it really works. Yeah. So I do think it'd be good because it's very low impact and lightweight. You don't even have to use weight if you didn't want to, because the weight, your arms weigh something. So even your arms, being active throughout the workout, like she has them, is beneficial. Um, but I do think that it would be good because it's, like I said, it's low impact and you're getting your body used to getting all those motions, and there's such dynamic movements. You're using your arms, your core, your legs all at the same time, in different ways. So I think with the modifier on the screen and the way she breaks it down, and obviously listening to your body and knowing what your limitations are, though, where you're at, depending where you're at postpartum, and like I said, depending on what the doctor said, I do think it's very feasible, though, for someone who's postpartum.
Yeah, and I like that. So the only equipment that you use are, like we're saying, really light weights, and you don't even have to use the weights if you don't want to. And then like some sort of surface or a chair. So if you're postpartum or pregnant, you can use that more often if that works for you for stability. There's movements that are like squats, and then there's a next level of like squat jumps or like different ballet moves that are like shuffle to the side and then shuffle jump. So like you just don't jump if you're pregnant, right? Or that's too high impact for you. So it really does break down the levels, like Katie's saying. And I think this is a phenomenal program. Of course, after you're cleared, that's always my recommendation, your doctor's orders first. But it's a great one with different levels built into each movement for both people that are just starting out on their journey or coming back from an injury, to those of us that are really consistent, because Katie and I have been really consistent for a long time. So if you were to speak to our fitness lovers who are doing these really high intensity workouts and think that this is not enough for them, that they need to be doing cardio all the time and, you know, moving like crazy, what would you tell them? Like, is this enough?
Okay, so I think actually Barre is very humbling. I think if you actually push yourself, like she has you push yourself, like the trainer pushes you to push you, I don't know how you couldn't think it was a good workout. I think it's a very humbling program. And I think it's something that is looked upon as, oh, I don't think it'll be right for me, but I'm telling you, you work muscles in different ways than you have with just your basic weight training or basic HIIT training or cardio and dynamic movements. It just is a completely different way to move your body. And a lot of times those muscles are not used to working like that. You know, you're not working more so to, you know, fatigue out with heavy weight. It's more in building that the endurance a lot of times too of those smaller muscles. And you know, you think, oh, I'm almost done. She's like, 8 more. And I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Like she always talks about her Barre blend burn zone. And she's like, right when it starts, like when you want to be done, she counts 8 more. And it's the longest 8 seconds. But I think if you push yourself, like she wants you to push yourself and motivates you to push yourself, I think it's very humbling. I'm like, because at the end of that, like I said, this is the most sore I've been in a program probably ever. Really.
Yeah, and I'll say like the most frustrating thing for me as somebody who wants to help as many women as I can is I see my challengers fall in love with a certain program and then they're not willing to do anything else but that. So like they'll try a new program, they'll get frustrated with it because it might not be their thing, and they give it like a day or two and then they go back to the same program they've always been doing. And I know for me personally, I actually went through an injury because I was doing the same workout on the treadmill over and over and over again. And so when your body does the same thing over and over again, guess what? You're not going to get different results, number one, but you're also setting yourself up for being disappointed because you know what to expect, so you don't push yourself as much, and you kind of just sort of half-ass it, excuse my French. Mm-hmm. That is why I take on every new program, even if it's totally not my thing, because in my mind, you don't know if it's your thing until you've given it 30 days. And I guarantee in 30 days, you're going to be like, holy crap, this is actually really hard. This is way outside my comfort zone and I have room to improve. Like for me, I have room to improve on my flexibility. I have room to improve on my endurance and stamina and my grace, and wanting to like keep that muscle flexibility as you grow older is important, because we all know like you're sitting on a chair a lot, and most of us for office or driving in your car every day. So I just think that more of us need to be open to doing things outside of our comfort zone, because it's going to continue to help you get results, continue to be excited about what you're doing. And I know we want to touch on the mindset aspect of this program because that's really special to both of us. But I just like to say, stop doing the same thing and getting frustrated that you're not getting different results, because that's insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting something different. So I just think that because this is so different than a lot of the workouts in our on-demand library, it is special because it can challenge you in different ways than you never have been before. Go ahead. You want to add anything?
Sorry, I was going to add to when you were saying how, you know, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, this is one thing that I actually bring in a lot with my patients in general, with life and activity. If you don't change things up, your body's never going to change. Yeah. So, you know, you have to do different things to keep your muscles working in different ways at different times so that you can get the results you want, or you can recover from an injury, or you don't wind up injuring yourself, just like had you had mentioned how you know you have a history with an injury. Mm-hmm. Doing the same thing, you know. It's a lot of people, like you have to switch it up. because thing, right? Say in response to that. So mixing things up is good in that aspect, just because your body's not going to get used to one thing over and over again, and things that repetition is not going to break something down over and over again either. So not saying that happens to everybody or is all the time, but it is good to mix things up in any type of activity.
And it does it for your mind too. Like,
Oh yeah.
I know if I keep doing the same workout program 30 days and repeat again 30 days and repeat again 30 days, my mind's going to be like, oh, I know the next move. I can wait. Like, I don't need
Mm-hmm.
to do this all out. And so I just feel like you don't push yourself as hard, both physically and mentally. But when you don't know what's coming, you kind of like, you humble, like you were saying, you humble yourself
Mm-hmm.
as a beginner that the first 20, 30 workouts might suck really bad because you don't know what's coming your way and it is going to be hard. But that's how you grow and that's how you continue to
Mm-hmm.
sustain your health. So let's talk about mindset and what is included in this program that you love so much about that.
So I really enjoy the IM cards. So the trainer has created like 60, I think, one for each day, these IM cards that she'll pull from every morning. And you get them when you get the program. And, like the first day was I am ready. And then it has a little sentence underneath explaining, a few motivating words essentially to help through. And what she does is she brings that throughout the entire workout. Like, when she did booty day, it was I am well rounded, and she picked that on purpose because, one, it's hilarious, but two, she brought in through that the whole thing, like, okay, we are well rounded individuals. She brings it back to just hearing it while you're working out and trying to get through this, some of these, like, I am motivated and I am enthusiastic and all these things that I then take with me through the day. So she talks about it, she brings it in, and it's something that I notice that throughout my day, like, I'm motivated, I'm going to do this right now, or I should be doing this right now, or I'm going to try, I've noticed that I just bring it kind of with me the rest of the day. And it's definitely has helped, along with other things that I've started to do thanks to our team. But these IM cards are awesome just because she brings it and talks about it. And I've just, like I said, I take it with me now. Like when I leave, when I've done my workout, I'm not just like done thinking about, it sticks with you.
Yeah, it really sets the tone for your day.
Mhm.
Both Katie and I work out in the morning virtually together, and it's super fun. But it doesn't mean you have to be a morning person to be a part of our community. That's just where I've seen most of my challengers over 5 years see success when you move your body first in your day. Um, and everybody's schedules are different, but it allows us to just like set that intention and think about where you want to go with your day. Something that we really hone in on in our team is not just the workouts and the supplements and how you're eating, but also personal development. And so I know we both now created this habit where we actually sit and drink our glow juice, because you're supposed to have it like 15 to 30 minutes before you work out to kind of let it get in your system. And we both sit and read each morning. And that has been a game changer that would not have happened if we weren't a part of this community. I know for me personally, it's easy to let social media just control your day and constantly checking and seeing what likes you get and what comments you get. But that small shift, I know for both of us, has really been so big in our lives. So having these intentional I am cards just makes it a little bit more special, integrating into how we're moving our bodies daily. So I think the last thing we want to hit on with Bar Blend is talking about nutrition, because that's what a lot of people struggle with and they're curious about what they commit to, because I know for me, nutrition was such a big thing where I like didn't understand it or why or how to do it. So maybe just talk about your approach with this program and just overall what these last 3 months have been helpful for you.
Yeah, so like I said before, I do drink Shakeology. That's a big part of nutrition for me. But I like the containers. So I use the portion fix containers. I personally struggle with portion control. I always have my entire life, and I'm a snacker. So I know these things about myself, and it's not something that I try to change. I just try to be mindful of what I'm eating and the portions I'm eating. So those containers really help. because I tend to eat throughout the day versus like 3 regimented meals. I'll have my shake, and then 2 hours later I'll have like 2 hard-boiled eggs, and then 2 hours later so I'm one, especially with my job, like I just kind of spread things out throughout the day. Um, so I use the portion, the containers, and the program like makes it very easy. Like you have a plan. They tell you how many of each container you can eat based on what your weight is, what your goal weight is. They take that into consideration, and then they tell you how many of each container, and they give you an enormous list of foods for each of the containers. I'm like you, Danielle. I'm like, I like to keep things simple, so I don't usually follow like super fancy recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Like tonight, I meal prepped actually because I was away all weekend. I had my meals for today done, but I don't have them for the rest of the week. So I came home and I threw some chicken in the oven with some asparagus, and I made quinoa. Like they're my 3, that's my lunch, and they're my 3 containers. Like I don't do any, it took me literally, 10 minutes to prep, and I just threw it in the oven and it's done. So, and I have my apples and orange. Like I keep it very simple because I don't have time. I personally just don't have time with my schedule to make fancy recipes. And if I did, I know that it wouldn't last. So I've learned over the years, I've tried to make the recipes, but I've learned that for me personally, I just keep things simple. And that's the beauty of the containers, because if you are someone who likes to make those recipes and try something different every day, there's a lot of recipes out there. And then for those people who like it more simple, then you pick whatever in your containers and mix it together, eat it separate, whatever, and it's good. So it's nice because it's very versatile, and it fits in whatever lifestyle you have or what works for you. I think that's the biggest thing for me that the containers have helped with is, and especially with this program, and even when even the last 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a diet. Like I'm not limiting what I'm eating. I still eat quite a bit during the day. It's just more of, okay, well, instead of eating chips for my snack, I'm going to eat walnuts or an apple or something. It's just like being more conscious of what I'm grabbing. I love fruits and vegetables, so that's helpful. I also love salty stuff. I'm not a sweet person. So I tend to pick those foods in the categories towards what works for me, and I know it will still satisfy that craving for me. So I think when I got to the point where I realized like this is not, I'm not limiting what I'm eating. I'm just making slightly like better choices, but also choices that I still like. So, and eating throughout the day, and I just you have to figure out what works for you.
Yeah, and that totally takes time too. So basically, no matter what workout program you're doing within our team, there's kind of 2 paths. There's one that Katie's talking about. It's called Ultimate Portion Fix, where you get the portion control containers. You're given, like, I know I have to have 4 protein servings a day, aim for 4 vegetable servings a day. I can mix and match however I want to have them whenever I want. In this program, there's certain other programs that focus more on time to nutrition and pairing certain like a vegetable and a protein and a carb together and thinking about how you feel your body when. But in general, it's portion control and having a little bit more structure. And there's also another option of 2B mindset, which is more mindful eating, thinking about what you're choosing throughout your day, waking up and drinking water right away and having a veggie with each meal. And I have a lot of challengers that works well for them. But personally, I'm the same way, where I like to keep it super duper simple. I like having snacks on hand that are easy, like carrots and apples and hummus and peanut butter. And I hide veggies in my shake every morning so I don't taste them, because I'm not as great a veggie eater, even though I do like them. And so I like to think of it as a guide that you get to learn what you like and why. And over time, you figure that out for yourself. There's weeks where I do like to make a recipe and I do like to have it on hand. But most of the time, I do keep it simple, because when you know what you need, you just like, you don't have to think about it. It doesn't become a thing that I need to meal. I don't meal prep for 3 hours on a Sunday. It's not my jam. I'm not interested in doing that. Some people love that in my team, and they're amazing cooks and they make incredible recipes. That's not my thing. It doesn't bring me joy. So I love that it's kind of a guideline for you to work with your coach and within your team to figure out what works for you. But it has to be something you commit to as a lifestyle, like Katie's saying. I personally had a bachelorette this weekend, so yeah, I didn't really eat per my meal guide, but it doesn't change how I move forward in my journey. And so I kind of treat every program a little bit differently. And I think it's important to know what your goals are. I'm at a point in my journey where I don't need to lose 30 pounds. I've done that. And I want to test, like Katie was saying, my strength and my flexibility, my stamina, and that sort of thing. So I choose to have alcohol only 1 or 2 glasses on the weekend. That's a rule I make for myself. Obviously, outside of bachelorette weekend, that's something different. But it's coming up with what works for you. Maybe this is a program that you need to go all in with, and you need to follow it per the plan, per the structure, per what the professional says. I've done that with many programs and gotten insane results. But just because you're committing to something new doesn't mean that you're expected to be perfect. It means that you're expected to make progress. And I think that's something that we really, really focus on in our team, because I don't want to help somebody for a month. I want somebody to be here for years that wants to be a part of this family and make health a core value in their life that they feel they can stick to and be proud of. So that's kind of where I come from with nutrition. Any other bar blend send offs before we finish this one up?
No, I would just say, like, give it a chance before you try to make a preconceived notion about it. Just turn the trainer on and just push yourself like she wants you to, and you won't be disappointed. I mean, you can't beat for 33 minutes. Like, you cannot, just everything about it, like we talked about throughout this, discussion, just give it a chance. If you're on the fence, I would say just try it, because I don't think you're going to be disappointed. And even if you don't like it, if it's like not your favorite, at least you can say you tried to put your body through something different than it's used to, and that is a positive in itself.
Yeah, I agree completely. And I think that there's something that you learn from each program that you do. And that's the thing I love about our programs, is that they are all so different. And I take away something new from every single one. So I agree, give it a shot, and don't just do it one time, like do it 10 times or 20 times, and really let that journey and that experience come into your life instead of just like writing it off because you tried one sample workout. To me, that doesn't really fully grasp the journey that you can take and the results that you can gain through a more longevity commitment to yourself and our team. So I'm excited to see more of y'all doing Bar Blend. And thank you, Katie, for sharing your love. And we will post up this video.
Awesome. Thank you.